Patricia Arquette, the queen of understated intensity, think her Oscar-winning turn in Boyhood or that mind-bending Severance role that's got everyone buzzing, is stepping into what she calls the most thrilling phase of her life yet. Single, kids all grown and finally asking, "What about me?" It's like she's hit the reset button after decades of mom mode on overdrive. "I'm at a really exciting moment in my life," she shares, her voice probably laced with that signature mix of wry humor and raw honesty. No more juggling someone else's dreams or schedules. Now it's all about her whims. Where to crash. How to deck out her pad. Jetting off on a girl's trip without a second thought? For the first time since she was a teen mom at 20, Arquette gets to lead the charge. Let's paint the picture. Arquette, 57 now, looking back on a life that's been a whirlwind of love, loss, and Hollywood hustle. She's got 2 kids who light up her world. Son Enzo, 36, from her early relationship with Paul Rossi, and daughter Harlow, 22, with ex-husband Thomas Jane. Enzo's out there carving his path, maybe dipping into music or whatever creative spark he inherited, while Harlow's navigating that post-college glow, full of possibility. Arquette's pride in them? Palpable. But with them launched, the nest feels echoey in the best way. "My kids are grown up, I'm single," she says, letting it sink in. It's not loneliness, it's liberation. After years of "what do they need?" the question flips, "What do I want to do?" Her marriages? They've been epic chapters full of passion and plot twists. First came Nicolas Cage from 95 to 2001. A whirlwind romance that birthed Harlow's big bro and left tabloids in a frenzy. Cage, with his eccentric vibe and collector's heart, was a match for Arquette's fire. Then Thomas Jane, married from 2006 to 2010 with a brief reunion, brought Harlow into the mix and that beachy, artistic energy. They split amicably, co-parenting like pros, but it wasn't without the heartaches. Hollywood relationships are pressure cookers, amplified by spotlights and schedules. Now, divorced and done with the drama, Arquette's savoring the quiet. If your relationship didn't work out and you decided "I can't live with all of that," to be able to have a moment where you go, "Who am I? What do I want?" She pauses, then grins, "I'm there and it's exciting." This second spring, as she quotes the Chinese wisdom on menopause, feels like blooming after a long winter. The world's tilting on its axis, hormones shifting, priorities realigning, and suddenly adventures beckon. Time with old friends she's missed, spontaneous road trips, or just lazy Sundays plotting her next script read. It's empowering, this reclaiming. Arquette's always been the fierce type, advocating for equal pay on the Oscar stage, diving into activism for women's rights. But personally, she's been the glue holding family orbits together. Now she's the star orbiting her own sun. That mindset pulled her into her latest role as Maggie in Murdaugh. Death in the Family, a true crime drama that's as twisted as it gets. Maggie's story? Gut-wrenching. In 2021, this devoted mom and wife was gunned down at home alongside her son Paul by her husband, Alex Murdaugh, a once charming legal dynasty head who unraveled into a web of lies, addiction, and murder. Convicted in 2023, he's rotting away with 2 life sentences. Arquette saw echoes of her own "what now?" phase in Maggie, who was teetering on that empty nest edge, eyeing a life of her own just as betrayal shattered it all. Maggie was just about to be there, Arquette notes, her voice softening. Kids grown, marriage fraying, then boom, the facade crumbles. What hooked her? The layers. Alex wasn't a cartoon villain. He was charismatic, the family anchor, until the deceptions piled up like a house of cards. Financial fraud, opioid spirals, cover-ups. Murdaugh gaslit everyone, especially Maggie, who started piecing together the "who are you" puzzle too late. Arquette nails that slow-burn horror, the realization that your partner's a stranger, a manipulator twisting truths into knots. What was really interesting to me about this story was this charming, charismatic personality who is the head of the family, but also a pathological liar, betrayer, manipulator, she explains. And for this woman, for her to start realizing, "I have no clue who I'm married to. Where does it end?" All of these layers of deception and gaslighting and manipulation. Who are you? Playing Maggie let Arquette channel her empathy for women caught in those traps. We've all seen it, friends in toxic dynamics, whispering doubts that bloom into escapes. For Arquette, it's cathartic, especially now. Her own second spring is about spotting red flags early, honoring gut instincts. She's prioritizing therapy sessions, maybe yoga retreats, or just blasting Brandi Carlile tracks while driving coastal highways. Single life isn't about swiping right, it's about swiping left on anything that doesn't spark joy. I get to ask myself for the first time in my life, What do I want? She repeats like a mantra. Zoom out, and Arquette's story is a beacon for anyone hitting midlife milestones. At 18 you're dreaming big, careers, crushes, chaos. By 40 it's balancing acts. But 50s? Reinvention central. She's modeling that, therapy over tolerance, boundaries over bending. Her kids cheer it on. Enzo and Harlow see mom not as a safety net, but a soaring eagle. And Hollywood? It's noticing. Severance Season 2 looms, promising more of her eerie brilliance as Harmony Coble. But off-screen, Arquette's scripting her best plot yet. Imagine her future, a memoir spilling tea on Cage's quirks, Jane's surf sessions, and the quiet winds of solo travel. Or producing films about women like Maggie, survivors not victims. For us young folks watching, it's inspo, family first but self forever. Arquette's not just single, she's sovereign. And damn does it look good on her.